about it. Think about it.
I never knew that an IRS agent had to have, I don't know, a deadly weapon next to their keyboard while they're punching keys and next to their adding machine while we're going through documents with a supposed tax thief. But then you get your passport, your digital ID, so then you're locked out of the economy and the world.
That's what the elites want. That's how they call martial law. That's how they get the game started. That's how Hunger Games comes in effect. That's what they want. You're gonna fall for the trap. It's coming. So if you know the economy is going to crash, if you're planning the crash of the economy, and you know everyone's going to be poor, struggling, unable to pay their debts or their credit cards, wouldn't you give the IRS the ability to go and round all these people up? And now people who don't agree with your political ideology or anything, you can say, hey, you didn't pay your Discover bill, and if you don't pay us in 90 days, we're going to put you in jail. You didn't pay this tax or that tax, or we found out you made $1,000 on Cash App and you never paid taxes for it, and we want our taxes for it now because people were sending you money on Cash App. They'll say, you're doing this illegally, you're doing that illegally. They are going to come after people, okay? Deadly force. They are going to show up to people's houses and take property. And if you don't have property to give, if you don't have hard assets for them to steal, they are going to put you in jail because they can make money off you being in jail. Isn't it suspicious that at the beginning of the pandemic, they were just letting people out of jail? The same people that they got running the streets doing a lot of the stuff that they need them to do, rioting and all that, you know, they need to fill these jails back up. Think about that. But how do you fill these jails up when you've made crime legal in all your big cities? You go after hardworking poor people, okay? Then they're going to start rounding up homeless. They're going to start rounding people up. Why would the IRS need guns? Why would they need to use deadly force? You got to ask yourself these questions. They're using deadly force because they go into people's houses. Why would an IRS agent need a gun? Please tell me that. Please. Please, don't open your doors for these people, yo. If you see someone knocking on your door and they got a tie, don't open your door, people. I'm telling you, don't. And public service announcement: I lost all my weapons in a boating accident, so I am no longer a gun owner.
All right, I want to start off by saying, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahawashi, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahawashi. Call halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahawashi. Call halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahawashi, by Hashem HaKakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that told me this doctrine in truth and sincerity. Shalom to elect. The Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh, which means He is or He exists. By Hashem, in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. We know His name to be Yahawashi, which means He is the deliverer. He is the Savior for the Hebrew Israelites from the pedigree of your father. By Hashem, in the name of the Ruach HaKodesh, which means the Holy Spirit, that's able to give us the knowledge, wisdom, understanding of who we are, which are the true Hebrew Israelites. If you're so-called Negro, so-called Latino, so-called Native American, or of the speckled bird looking like the other nations, and your spirit bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh Shema Shai, then you could be one elect. Shalom. We've been discontinued from our heritage because we went off following after false gods and false idols, not following the law, statutes, commandments that was given to us by our forefathers, and because of those offenses, we were sent into captivity. But through Yahawashi HaMashiach being that perfect lamb in the latter days, He would wake up His elect to be able to have the understanding, to be able to give the mysteries of who we are and who our oppressors are, and to be able to go out on the highways and the byways and through the internet to be able to give our people warning, to bid them to the marriage, because we're our oppressor, Esau, Edom. Esau means wasted away he is, and they are the biblical Edomites, okay? that is the so-called white man of this world, right? The white man of this world, right? And his true nationality is being an Edomite, okay? And it speaks about them being what the wicked, and then them having what the fatness of the earth and control it with the great sword, okay? And the fatness of the earth, when you go into the word, it goes into the most fertile places, okay? And these are the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Oppenheimers, the DuPonts, okay? The banksters, the elites, the Warburgs. These are the wicked that it speaks about in the scriptures, again, that are what? Waging war on the people, that are sieging the people and making them bow down to what? Making them bow down to what? Their beast system, through what? Cutting off the food, cutting off the water, cutting off that staff of bread, your jobs and things like that, to have you what? Bow down to this beast system, because ultimately they want to have you karagmat up, which is a graven image in your forehead and your hand. It's something, a technology, a device that's physical that they want to put inside of you, under your skin, so they can be able to track your every move, your social credit system, who you hang out with, your carbon intake and things like that. Okay, and that's all through what? Because Esau, Edom, okay, the white man of this world is trying to bring in what? A new world order. Novus Ordo Seclorum, which is on the back of your dollar bill. El Plumos Unum, which means one of many. They have a one world government, a one world military, a one world religion where you worship their beast system. And if you don't comply to their mandates, they're going to shut you off. Okay. And what you're seeing right there is the IRS, right? They are hiring agents to be able to have what? Guns, to be able to take out these arrests, take these people and go to their house and arrest them. Why? Because there's a thing, real quick before we go into the precepts, where the debt clock, okay, where I'm not sure, I haven't checked it in a while, right? We'll check it right now. This is the U.S. debt clock, okay? So they're over, what, $30 trillion in debt. That's Mir Clay. It speaks about that in Habakkuk 2, okay? Mir Clay, which means thick clay, thick debt. Okay, they owe all these different countries, and what are they doing? They're starting to collect on the people, okay? And the average person right here, and I just looked at this last month, was $85,000 how much they owed. Okay, you see that? Debt per citizen, so $92,000. Okay, so if you owe money, so say you went to college, right, and you owed money on, for schooling, right? It might have been $50,000, whatever that amount may be. They're gonna want that. If you owe money on your credit cards, as the guy was saying, they want that. Okay, if you didn't pay a certain tax, maybe 1 year, they want that. Okay, debt per taxpayer, $243,000. Okay, $92,000. So, and the debt clock just keeps going up and up. Meanwhile, they're sending money over there to Ukraine and to Taiwan to what? Fight these wars. Okay, because ultimately, what does Taiwan have? They have those semiconductors, which is also the device that the technology that they use. Okay, which is what? To connect to their AI systems, to connect to what? Watching you through these smart cities. Okay, ultimately that eagle in the sky, right? And this is all Esau Edom's plan to what? Besiege the whole, first of all in the world, but starting with Babylon the Great. Babylon means confusion, America means bitter. Okay, and these devils are waging war on the people. And if you don't have that hedge, or if you don't know, if Yahweh Shema Shai hasn't woken you up to the mysteries, okay, you're going to get caught up in the said perils. So again, that debt clock, that's how much every person owes, okay? $92,000 at least, right? And the average person, I was looking at this, it was like a month or two ago, the average person doesn't even have $500 in their bank account. So if these certain things happen, like say rent goes up or gas goes up or these different things, people are not going to have the resources. They're going to be perplexed, okay? And what happens when you get stressed out? You start to take it out on your wife, or you start to take it out on your children. You start to do things that you wouldn't normally do, okay? And this is all set up strategically by these devils, order out of chaos, okay, which is order out of chaos in the Latin, which this is Rome 2.0. And what they use? They use the Latin, okay, which is also on the back of your dollar bill. May 1st, 1776, the Freemasonry, where they started to bring in their New World Order through Adam Weishaupt, and that was paid for by the Rothschilds to be able to have the infrastructure to control the media, control the schools, control the hospitals, okay, so they can be able to, control the people, because they have a God complex. Ezekiel 28:2 speaks about that this devil, he sits in the seat of God, and he believes that he is God, okay? But we know that Yahweh Shema Shai is the one that's in control of this movie, referring to Isaiah 45:7, Okay, that he controls the light, he creates the darkness, he creates the evil. Okay, our Lord is what omnipotent, he does both. And what you're seeing is them what waging war on the people. Why? Because they have but a short time. And I'll start right here. This is Ecclesiastes 12:3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows shall be darkened. So again, that goes into the storehouses are going to be closed. Okay, people are not going to have jobs because ultimately they don't want people to work. Okay, they already have computers that can be able to do all that. These robots and things like that. They want people to take the technology, the device, and so they can be able to control them. You will own nothing and be happy. They don't want you to have a voice. They don't want you to read the scriptures. They want you to be a straight a robot. Okay, and so that's why they're taking away the staff of bread, because once you put that technology in you, then they can be able to control your every movement, turn you on or turn you off. That's what that hot sauce was them doing a diligent search of the people that are just going to bow down without even thinking about it. Okay, and now those people are doing what the Harlem Shake, the Justin Bieber, right? 4, it says, the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of grinding is low, and he shall rise up at a voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Okay, so yeah, the opportunities that you once had to be able to have these certain careers or something like that, they're starting to go away, because a lot of jobs, first of all, in the food industry, or we'll just say in the trucking industry, okay, they fired over 70,000 people, and also they're shutting down a lot of these food centers. Okay, a lot of these stores, these Walmarts are closing down. Okay, and these these big stores, Macy's, Kmart, the ones that have been around for at least since I've been born, it seems like they're shutting down. Okay, these middle class is being taken out. Okay, ultimately bringing just poor and rich. And who is the rich? That's the elites. Okay, these Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Oppenheimers, the Warburgs, and then you have the poor. Okay, which is going to be your middle class. Your middle class is now poor. Okay, and the poor have always just been, that's been Jake. But Jake has always been at the bottom. You shall be you shall be what the borrower, not the lender. Okay, and those goes back to the curses. Now some of us are okay, but for the most part, we're at the bottom. Okay, that's due to the curses, right? And so now these stores they're gonna be closed. They're not gonna be open. You're not gonna be able to go down to your local 7-Eleven or your local grocery store to get the resources. Also, because again, they don't have the trucks, so they're not gonna have food, which creates a hyperinflation, which is gonna create order out of chaos. Okay, so going into it, why are they doing this? Because they know that they have but a short time. This is Revelation 12:12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down to you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. So who's rejoicing? The hopeful elect. Okay, they're rejoicing because the prophecies are being manifest. They're being seen. They're being obvious of what's happening, because the Lord said that the economy would be broken. Okay, from the inside out, right? And that's the Lord visiting this place with plagues. Okay, those that don't hearken are not going to be able to eat. They're not going to be able to drink. They're going to be in perplexity. Who's the devil? That's Esau, Edom. Okay, in the flesh, the white man of this world, because he's the one that has that great sword, and he's the one that has control of the food system. Okay, and also the water system, because what you're seeing also these droughts, which the drought takes out the farmers and the cows and things like that, where they're not able to eat off the pastures. Okay, and then that creates where there's no food in the stores, right? Yeah, he has but a short time, because he's only out for a little season. And it speaks about that in Job 20:5, that the triumph from the wicked is but for a short time. Okay, and that's what you're seeing. And so he has to come in like a flood. He has to come in like a madman sparing none. Okay, because he sees his time is up. He's seeing the chariots. He's seeing all the signs of his demise. Right? Let's get that. Luke 21:25, it says, and there be signs in the sun, in the moon, in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, in the sea of the waves roaring. Okay, so signs of, the moon, you have the blood moon. Okay, you have the blood moons. Then also you have the aligning of the planets. Okay, you have the eclipses. Okay, you have over there in Russia where they have all red skies. Okay, and also over there in France, they also have all red skies. Okay, so these are the signs of the end times. Plus, we have signs of what the chariots, which are the world enemy calls UFOs, but they're actually chariots of Yahweh Shem Shai. That's how the angels are able to, that's their vehicle. Okay, and what are they doing? They're starting to visit these different. Well, first of all, visit the hopeful elect. Okay, the people that are pushing out the true doctrine, you'll see the chariots flying over them. Okay. Also, you have the chariots visiting these different nuclear sites, these Navy sites, okay, and the chariots are just toying with them because they defy gravity. Okay, they can go underwater, they can come up out of water, and they charge from the sun. Okay, as we saw, was it like a month or two ago, you had an object coming up to the sun and basically charging. Okay, because those laser beams are going to be in those chariots when the Lord comes back. He's going to be firing off, destroying people, right? So yeah, distress among nations, yeah, because there's you have Sri Lanka is just basically done. Okay, you have Ghana that's done, right? You have these different. You have even over here in Babylon the Great. I just saw where a lady killed her own family. I think 3-4 kids or something like that, killed him and then went on live. Okay, you have people. Another guy stabbed his wife with a hammer, or no, hit her in the head with a hammer, then shot her or something like that. So you're seeing a lot of stories. Those spirits created for vengeance. Okay, that's distress among the nations. Plus, you have the droughts. Then also you have the floods. You have the floods in St. Louis. You have the floods in Louisiana, Kentucky. Okay, and a lot of those are Jake neighborhoods. Okay, and they're getting flooded out. And then what happens? They set up these cooling centers or these heating centers where these are basically internment camps. Okay, and if you owe money for the IRS, what they're saying is that they're going to bring you to these internment camps. And what do these internment camps have? Which internment means corpse, right? They have the body bags, they have the coffins, and they have the smart guillotines. Okay, and all sorts of torture tactics that they can be able to come down on you. Plus, you have the Operation Hot Musket, Rex 84, the King Alfred Plan, okay, Operation Gotham Shield, okay, all these are Operation Vigilant Guard. All these are set up for the National Guard or the United Nations soldiers to come into people's houses and take them out of their houses if they don't comply. They have a thing called the red list, which is going to be the prophets. Okay, then you have the blue list, the people that are the followers and the believers, and then also you have the yellow list, people that just don't even know what's going on, and they're just going to take the charagma what they have. Okay, so you're seeing a perplexity, and these things are going to nothing but increase. Okay, that's why we have to hold on and keep our eyes singular on Yahweh Shem Shai, because the things that we're going through is ultimately to hard us for the times that are about to happen, because it's about to get ugly, because it already is. Brothers are catching hell. Me personally, but the thing is that one thing that I have is the mysteries, that Yahweh Shem Shai is the truth, that he's supping with me, and that's a blessing. That's a gift. So this word perplexity, this is in the Greek.
Strong's G 640,
Aparia. Okay. So I want to go into the root word, actually. This is the Greek 639.
Strong's G 639,
Apaleo.
apareo.
Okay, so that's in the Greek 639. It says to be without resources, to be without straits, to be left wanting, to be embarrassed, to be in doubt, not to know which way to turn. Okay, yeah, because when these devils, come in like a madman spurring none, okay, where are you going to go? Do you have the Lord with you? That's why it speaks about woe unto you that, want the day of the Lord, because it has a bear met a lion, and then a serpent bit him, roughly paraphrasing that. Okay, because again, there's going to be evils all over this place, because people are going to be the first time homeless. There's going to be cannibalism at an all-time high. And the resources goes into, your food. Okay, it goes into your water, and also goes into shelter. And straits is a position of difficulty. Okay, you're going to be embarrassed because you didn't come back to the Lord. You didn't you didn't want to seek the Lord. You wanted to engage in that mirth. And the Lord's going to put those plagues, that famine, that tribulation, that calamity. Then those are created for the wicked, those that don't want to hearken, those that don't have a contrite spirit, those that are not of the elect. It says to be at loss, oneself to be in doubt. not to know how to decide or what to do, to be perplexed. Yeah, because you have a lot of people that they relied on their jobs. Okay, and people are going to start to lose their jobs because again, the industry is they have to kill the economy. Okay, they have to bring the economy to nothing for them to be able to have their great reset. Okay, that's the whole point. Knocking out the paper dollar, bringing in the central banking digital currency, okay, which is a cashless society, and then having these different blockchains. Okay, and then they also said they have warnings of what these blackouts and these EMPs, and with those blackouts and those EMPs, that's how they're able to shut down the grid, okay, and basically freeze your assets, and then they could come out with a universal basic income. That's problem, action, solution. Hegelian dialect, pressure from below, pressure from above. Okay, they already did this over there in China, and you have people uproaring over there. Okay, showing you that this is an ointment in a sense. Everybody's gonna have to deal with what buying or selling. Those that see what the mark, right? Buying and selling. It's not a white woman. It's not embargo. It's something that's physical, and to where it's going to be what your resources and what you actually need, your true necessities, which is food and water and shelter, right? So that word perplexity, yes. So the resources to be in straits, which is a position of difficulty, and that's what you're about to see. A lot of people in a very difficult spot. It says Luke 21:26. It says, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. Okay, because ultimately it's going to be the hypersonic missiles destroying this place. Okay, but first has to become the first has to come the inside being torn out. Let's get that, and I'll come back there. That's Isaiah 14, and these other nations are saying what they are strong. This is Isaiah 14:9. It says, Isaiah 14:9, hell from beneath is moved thee to meet thee at the coming, it stir up the dead for thee, even at the chief ones of the earth, and it have raised up from the thrones of all the kings of the nation. So you have Russia, you have China, you have Iran. All these nations have, conspired together with the BRICS, to come together, the BRICS nations against the whore and NATO. Okay, ultimately going to bring in the third woe. Okay, and they're gathering together for war. Right? Just like the scriptures say. Isaiah 14:10, it says, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Yeah, because America is ripe for the picking. They don't have, first of all, the resources for hypersonic. They don't have hypersonic missiles. Okay, and their military is weak. Okay, that's why they're trying to bring back the draft, and also they're putting women in the military, and also these transformers. Okay, and these other nations are laughing at them, right? Because again, they know that they don't have, they're not that hammer of the earth anymore, right? 11, the pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of the vials, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Okay, so again, that goes into their economy. That petrodollar that was controlling the world for so long is not no more. These other nations are consulting together to come up with their own currency that's actually backed by gold and silver. Okay, real actually assets, because again, the petrodollar was never backed by anything, and that veil is being lifted up on all these other nations. Okay, and Esau, Edom is being made bare. Isaiah 25:7, he will destroy in the mountain face of the covering cast over all the people, and the veil that is spread over all the nations. Yep. So that covering cast that was over these nations before is no more. It says 12, art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, when thou hast weakened the nations? So that Lucifer means what? Light bearer. You have the light bearer on the left-hand side, okay, which is the wicked, and you have the light bearer on the right-hand side, which would be the tabernacle of David, which would be the prophets. And that Lucifer right there is speaking about Esau, Edom in the flesh, okay, the wicked, right? The white man, right? It says 13, for thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above all the stars of Yahweh. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. And we're over here, Babylon the Great is the north. Okay, and what are they trying to do is go to these different planets, but they can't pass the Van Allen belt. They also can't go down to the depths of the sea. Okay, because that was for Yahweh Shem Shai is the one that knows everything. Okay, he's omnipotent. These devils don't know shit. Okay, but they'll say like they believe that their pride has surpassed them, right? Isaiah 10 Isaiah 14:14, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, I will be like the Most High. Yeah, so they believe that they are the Most High, coming with their pseudoscience, their lying wonders, okay, coming with their device to be able to try to help people. But we know that they always speaking with a double tongue. And the Lord's beginning to visit this place, visit the proud. This is Isaiah 13:11. It says, I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Okay, and that terrible is speaking about Esau, Edom, but also the pride of the people, because they've come just like Esau, Edom. Even 2/3 of our people are surpassed the wicked, far as man on man, woman on woman, transformers. And the Lord's visiting that third, fourth generation of those that hate him. And what is he bringing forth? The plagues on this place. Okay. Just like he said he would. And only the elect is going to be able to have that understanding of what this devil is actually doing, to be able to have that hedge. So right here, I just want to get a couple. 2nd Ezra 8:1. Because only the elect's going to be able to attain this knowledge, attain this truth. Okay, meanwhile, the rest are going to be blinded. 2/3 of our people are going to be blinded, and also the world, because they're not Israelites. Okay, these heathen are not getting any. They're put it this way: the Bible ain't for them, right? Second Ezra 8:1, and he answered me, saying, the Most High had made the world for many, but the world to come to few. I will tell thee a similitude, Ezra, as when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee, that it give much mound, whereof the earthly vessels are made, but a little dust that gold cometh of. Okay, and that gold symbolizes the elect. It says, even so is the course of the present world. There be many created, but the few shall be saved. Yeah, so only the few is going to be saved out of this destruction. 144,000 in the commonwealth, the believers, right? It says 61. 2nd Ezra 8:61, and therefore is my judgment now at hand, that these things I have not showed unto men, but unto thee, and a few like thee. And they answered, I said, behold, Yahweh Shemashai now has showed me the multitude of wonders which thou wilt begin to do in the last times, but in what time thou hast not showed me. Okay, so again, going into the prophecies, he's only showed it to the elect. Okay, meanwhile, the rest of the world is going to get caught up in the said perils. Many great miseries. 2nd Ezra 8:50. Many great miseries shall be done unto them in the latter time that shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. So the same thing that was said in Isaiah 13:11, that the Lord is going to visit the proud in their arrogancy and throw down the terrible one. Okay. It says 51, but thou understand for thyself and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. Okay. Yeah. So the elect is going to seek wise counsel. Okay, they're going to follow the great, great millstone, the head apostles at great millstone, and the elders on down that are speaking the testimony of Yahweh Shemashai. They're coming with a true doctrine. They're not coming with no gimmicks. They're not coming with the best outfits. They're not coming with their sticks. Okay, they're coming with just the scriptures, and the elect's going to be able to join like thee. They're going to be I think it says. Birds will hang out with birds, roughly paraphrasing. A dog won't hang out with a hyena, roughly paraphrasing that. Okay, you're going to return to your own likeness. Okay, you're not going to turn to, with the wicked. That's why it speaks about to not be unequally yoked with unbelievers, because when you're around those unbelievers, those demons can hop on you. Okay, but if you're in a wise counsel, okay, the Lord's going to protect you with that hedge, because 2 or 3, the Lord is in the midst, right? But only the elect is going to be able to attain this wisdom and knowledge and understanding to be stable in this time. So this is Amos 3:6. Amos 3:6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city and Yahweh had not done it? So again, when you see judgment, it might be a child, like those 3 kids that got killed by the mother. Okay, that's judgment from Yahweh Shemashai, because no one dies innocent. Okay, the Lord, you might have paid for something either in your past or in this life. That's why it's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living power. So when you actually get this truth, you got to take this very seriously. You got to count the cost. Be fully persuaded in your mind, because this is not a game. Okay, this is actually life, which is Yahawashi, which is the scriptures, and then the death is in Esau Edom, and he's that hammer for Yahweh Shem Shai on the left hand side. It says surely, and that goes into shall they be afraid? Yeah, you're gonna be afraid when you see these, like the guy said, you see these guys in these suits coming up to your house with guns, okay, coming to arrest you because you owed some money from maybe 10 years ago, okay, where they basically do an audit on the people. Okay, when they come for those college, the money that you owe for people that went to college and things like that, all sorts of things. You might have owed something from a long time ago and thought you got away. They're going to start collecting for that because, again, it says 93,000 on the debt clock, right? 7, surely the Lord Yahweh Shemashai would do nothing, but he revealed his secret unto the servants, the prophets. Yeah, so he revealed the secrets of who we are, okay, and who our enemy is and what we can do to be able to come back to the Lord before this place is destroyed, ultimately. So I want to go back to that Luke 21, and we'll say 30, 34. Luke 21 and 34. And take heed to yourselves, lest any time your hearts be overcharged with superfluitiness and drunkenness and cares of the life, so that you come upon you unaware. So again, being sober-minded, keeping that eye singular, not engaging in the things in this world, but keeping that eye singular on Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, not being double-minded and a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So you're in the ministry, you might do a video one time a week. Okay, then you do whatever you're doing in the world, then you try to come back to camp, or you don't even go to camp. Okay, this is you're engaging in the world. Okay, and the Lord's going to destroy you for that. Okay, because again, these things are going to come unaware, and if you don't have that hedge of protection, okay, Esau Edom's going to be able to take you out, and you're going to get caught up in the said perils. 35, for as a snare, a snare is what? A trap. It shall come up all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. So again, that trap's going to be set upon an ointment and sense all around the world. Okay, but the elect's going to be able to have that hedge. 36, watch ye therefore and pray always that you may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man. And that's what the hopeful elect is praying, that they're able to Matthew 24, they that shall endure to the end shall be saved. And we're praying that we're able to endure to the end and be accounted worthy in the day when our Lord Yahawashi visit this place with these plagues. Okay, because we're close. Through measuring the time diligently through the scriptures, Esau Edom starting to be more draconian. Okay, he's throwing out his legislation and just being straight up draconian, letting you know, hey, we're coming for you. We got guns, we got weapons, okay, and we want our money. And they're not playing, and that's gonna be what great misery, because what this world has walked in great pride. Let's get a scripture. This is 2 Ezra 16. Actually, we'll go to 6. 2 Ezra 6 and 18. It reads, and it said, behold, the day shall come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. I will begin to make inquisition of them that have hurt unjustly and the righteous, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled. So again, we're almost out of here. Okay, as far as our affliction being put under these curses, and the Lord is loosening that affliction. Far as he's given us the understanding, giving us the comforter through this word, and our cup that we had to drink of slavery and being under this devil is almost up, and then the cup for what Esau Edom is going to be filled, double, right? Because of the affliction they did to Zion, okay, which is the apple of his eye. It says 20, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, and then I will show these tokens, and tokens also means signs. The book shall be open before the firmament, and they shall see altogether. So again, the book is open. Okay, and we're praying that we're in the book of life, and this place is almost destroyed. Okay, it's going to end up destroying its own self. Through the trap and the snare that Yahweh Shemashai has set up for this devil. 21, and the children of a year old shall speak with their voices, and the woman with the child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 to 4 months, and they shall live and be raised up. Okay, that goes into premature babies. Okay, being born, 3-4 months old, and really that means the technology. Daniel's 12 and 4, that knowledge shall be increased. Okay, because that wasn't always the case, right? But now the technology is here, showing you that now the technology, far as the charagma and the smart cities, and through their gradualism, is actually here because the infrastructure is here. Right? 22, and suddenly shall be the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Yeah, so these places are going to be found empty because you have people that are scared of, first of all, the pestilence, the hot sauce, the monkey business, and they don't even want to go back to work because they think that something's going to happen to them. Plus, you have the businesses closing down. Okay, and then a lot of people, there's no reason for you to go to work if you're not making any money. There's no surplus. Okay. You might have to drive a certain way. A lot of people, they work like an hour away. And if you're not able to, and that could be your gas and things like that. And if you're not making any money at the job, what's the point of even going? Okay. Showing you what the crashing of the economy. Okay. These stores are going to be closed. The darkening of the windows, right? It says 24, at the time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, in 3 hours they shall not run. Okay, yeah, friends are going to fight one against another for what? For food. Okay, the one of all things. That's why these women that are living by themselves, I don't need no man, I'm independent, they're going to wish that they had a man of the Lord. Because again, people are going to start spoiling your goods. Whatever food that you bought, they're going to be following you to your house. Okay, and if you don't have a man of the Lord, okay, then you're gonna get caught up in the said perils. Micah, Isaiah 32:9. Okay, raise up you women at ease. Okay, because again, you live dainty off this world. Because again, Esau, Edom, the serpent, and Eve, this is their kingdom. Okay, meanwhile, Jake is at the bottom. They're always getting bashed and blamed for everything. Okay, and people are going to be fighting against one another. Why? Because of this right here. Isaiah 3:1. I'll read this in the NLT. The Lord Yahweh Shai of heavens of armies will take away from Jerusalem and Judah everything to depend on, every bit of bread and every drop of water. Yep, and that's why people are going to be fighting against each other. Okay, and also what you're going to have sedition against these government officials that are coming to people's houses talking about, they owe some money. Okay, and when it goes into, it says the springs of the fountain shall stand still, in 3 hours shall not run. That goes into not having water. Okay, and you're seeing what in Lake Mead they have a drought. The Rio Grande has a drought. Over there in the Middle East, you have the Euphrates being dried up, and those are all signs of the end times. Okay. And when there's a drought, when there's no water, okay, because like for instance, Lake Mead runs down to Southern California, and that's where they get a lot of their water from. Okay, so without water it means what? No hygiene. Okay, which leads to disease, and also when with the EMP or a blackout hit, okay, these water systems are controlled by the computer. So when they're knocked out, what happens? The water becomes still. Okay, when it creates disease in it. Okay, which can be what lead to, again, to death. And that's what Esau, Edom does. Okay, 25. Whoever remain from all these things I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation of the end of the world. Yeah, so he that endure to the end shall be saved. Okay, because again, it's about to be ugly. There's going to be spirits created for vengeance, and there's going to be time of great misery. Okay, but it also speaks about in Acts 14:22, through much tribulation we shall enter into the kingdom. Acts 14:22, confirming the souls of the disciples, exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. Yeah, through much tribulation. So the things that were going on right now, we need to push through them. All the infirmities, she did this or he did that or whatever the case may be. You got to trust in the Lord. Okay, lean not on thy own ways. Depart from this world. Come up hither. Come up out of this place. Because again, the elect's going to be able to eat. Meanwhile, let me get that. Isaiah 65:13 says, therefore it said, Yahweh Shai, behold, my servant shall eat, but you shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but you shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but you shall be ashamed. Yeah, because again, you're going to be ashamed because you mocked and scoffed the prophets. You misused the prophets. You thought, oh, this is not going to happen. Okay, so, and that's not going to stop anything. Your belief is not going to stop anything from these said things that are about to happen. Romans 3:3, it says, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh without effect? okay? Because you're seeing these things happening. You're seeing that they're besieging the earth, okay? And they're waging war on the people, right? It says 4, Yahweh forbid, let Yahweh be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, thou mightst be justified in the sayings and might be overcome when thou art judged. Okay, so you're going to be judged on if you didn't come back to the Lord. Okay, by what? The famine, the tribulation, the scourge. Okay, all these things are created for the wicked. What is that? Sirach 40:9, which is going to be what? The time of Jacob's trouble, right? So let's see. There was another scripture that came. Let me read this again. Romans 3:4. Yahweh forbid, let Yahweh be true, but every man a liar, as is written, thou mightst be justified in the sayings and might overcome when thou art judged. Okay? And that judgment's coming to this place. Through what? Esau, Edom coming in like a flood. Let's just get this. 2 Ezra 15:1. Actually, we'll start from 3. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. And who is speaking against? Okay, first of all, 2/3 of our people, but also Esau, Edom. He's speaking blasphemy, saying that our Lord's not going to come. Okay, but our Lord's drawing nigh through what? These plagues. Okay, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Yep, so all the people are going to die in their unbelief. Okay, they're going to get destroyed. Okay. It says, behold, said Yahweh Shem Shai, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, the famine, the death, and destruction. And that's what you're seeing right now. You're seeing it on display. These devils are starting to come back, and they want war on the people. That's what it was. Tawadi Yahweh Shem Shai. Two scriptures. Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time, and every purpose under the heaven. Okay, and what time are we in? Right here. 8, a time to love, a time to hate, a time of war, and a time of peace. Yeah, so we're in a time of war. Because what are these devils doing? They're sieging the whole world. This is Deuteronomy 28:52, and shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high fence walls come down, wherein thou trusted throughout all the land, and it shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout the land which Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai had given thee. Yep, and that's what they're doing. They're starting to come into these Jake neighborhoods and take people out, saying they owe money. Okay, and they have that's what they want to do. That's why they want to take away the weapons. Now we know that our weapons of warfare are not carnal. Okay, our Lord's gonna recompense our enemies. So I just want to get a couple articles because I'm about to end it. I'll end it in, 2 Ezra 15. But it says IRS seeks armed accountants ready for deadly force. Okay? And this was just what? Yesterday? August 10th? What are we in? Yeah, so that was just yesterday, right? Okay? It says, even before Congress, President Joe Biden give the final okay for the IRS to hire 87,000 more agents. Okay, an $80 billion package, and the IRS just said they were broke. Okay, that was like a couple weeks ago. The IRS said they don't have no more money and they can't pay the taxpayers, right? But now they're hiring all these agents. It says in the $80 billion package, tax agency is revealing priority job category that could get first dibs on the huge budget expansion. On its jobs page is a listing of what the hot sauce for agents to be placed around the country to root out the financial fraud. Okay, so again, that 93,000, that debt clock, they're going to start coming for that. But you have to be what? Hot sauce up. And again, when they turn up that 5G and that 6G, you're going to start seeing these agents, those spirits created for vengeance. Look at that. Actually, what are we in? 39. Sirach 39. And what is that? 28. Sirach 39:28. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lair on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made him. Woo! So that's what's going to be happening. Those spirits created for vengeance. Okay, those agents that are juiced up. Okay, and they want the money for the government. Let me read that again. 28. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which on their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out the force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Okay, and who made him? Yahweh. Okay, the potter, right? So as it says right there, It says, but these, Slakia. Yeah, on its jobs page, a listing of what the hot sauce for special agents to be placed around the country to root out financial fraud. But these are opening for more than just financial experts. They will also be armed. Among the job requirements listed, carry a firearm and be willing to use deadly force if necessary. Okay, spirits created for vengeance. Sieging the siege is what a military tactic. Okay, to what wage war on the people inside. Who are the people inside? Okay, the everyday citizen. Okay, it's the special agents who can be placed around the nation and the world have interesting job according to the IRS deception. They are financial analysts, armed officers ready for a shootout. Right there, ready for a shootout, right? It says SAs are known for their financial investigative expertise in areas such as tax fraud, public corruption, cybercrime, narcotics, terrorism, and much more. Today's sophisticated schemes demand the analytic ability of financial investigators to trace transactions throughout complex financial records, and said the agency. One on the trail that must be willing and able to participate in arrest, execution of search warrants, and other dangerous assignments. They have a work minimum of 50 hours and be on call 24/7, and they have to look good. In the South, 50,000 sighting shit for 24 days. So 50,000, right? To 90,000, that's how much they make, which is nothing. So they're going to be doing all sorts of corruption. Okay, this is another article. This is from CBS. The IRS wants to spend billions on enforcement. Here's who is most likely to get audited. Yeah, so that's what it means. You get audited by they're coming to check your financial records, right? Yeah, so you have these, and like the guy said, you have these rich people. They're not going to come after the rich people because the rich people already have tax loopholes. They're going to come after the poor, okay? As the guy was saying in the video in the beginning. Let's see if I got any on this. Okay, ain't too much on that. Right here, this is another one. Yes, the IRS did not buy nearly 700,000 in ammunition in early 2022. Yeah, so you have also FEMA, which is the Federal Emergency Management Agency. They bought over 1 billion bullets. Okay, and also what do they have? They have where that there's a legislation. I didn't bring it up, but the legislation, far as if you're within 100 miles of the border, they can legally come into your house and take you out of your house and call you a health risk. Okay, and also what? Now the IRS bought all these bullets. Okay, 70,000 bullets, right, for ammo, and that's the IRS. Okay, and they just said that they're gonna have these people with guns on their waist, right, to take people out for defrauding the government, right? It says the Disarm the IRS Act was co-inspired by South Carolina. Yes, between March 1st and June 1st, 2022, the IRS ordered 600. Look at that, 696. Right, here's the wisdom. To know the number of the man of what Esau Edom, which is 666. Okay, and the 9's just upside down, which is they use that to be able to justify it. Like if you look at the CERN, they have the 6 upside down. Okay, and that's a sign of this place being turned upside down. The order was IRS Criminal Investigation Division, which is a federal law enforcement agency that conduct criminal investigations, including tax violations, laundering, cybercrimes, organized crime involving. There are more than 2,000 sworn agents in the division. Okay. So I want to see if I can get any more out of this. So we get the point. There was one more. I want to get this one right here because this was an executive order that Joe Butthead signed, Pedo Joe, Executive Order 14067, ensuring responsibility development of digital assets, okay? Because, again, they don't want anybody that has money at their house. They want everyone to be on the petrodollar, okay? This is another way they're going to wage war on the people because they want to be able, you're not going to have these jobs where you work under the table. They want control of everything through what these blockchains. It says Section 1, policy advances in digital distributed ledger technology for financial services had led to dramatic growth in markets for digital assets. Yeah, so knocking out what the paper dollar, bringing in the digital currency with so we get the point. You know, that's their legislation to bring in the digital currency. Yeah, so basically I just want to put that. That's Executive Order 14067, okay? And that's because when they go into these lockdowns, like the monkey business lockdown or the climate lockdown, that's when they're able to implement what these federal laws, these executive orders, right? So now we got that. So we're going to go back into 2nd Ezra 15. And 5. 2nd Ezra 15 and 5. Behold, said Yahweh Shemashai, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, the famine, the death, and destruction. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore said Yahweh Shemashai, I will hold my tongue no more as touching the wickedness which they have profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth upon me. Unto me, unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. So again, the men of the Lord that went to the spirit world, they're crying out. You have the men of the Lord, the prophets that are crying out, that are here, okay, and all the people that are crying out to the Lord, okay, and the Lord hears everything. The Lord knows everything, okay, and the Lord's not holding his tongue anymore, right? He's going to start to bring forth these plagues because again, the prophets, starting with the head apostles, a great millstone, starting with Abba Bivens in 1969, 1970, the Great Awakening, okay? I've been crying out for that whole time, and even now, right? Crying and sighing for all the abominations that have been done on the earth, okay? For this devil to be put down. 2nd Ezra 15 and 11, but I will bring with them the mighty hand and stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and I will destroy all the land thereof. Okay, that stretched out hand is Yahawashi, and this is spiritually Egypt. Okay, we're spiritually in Egypt. Look on the back of your dollar bill. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and the punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. Okay, and that goes into what the rotting of the wormwood of the inside of their economy. Okay, the people inside, and then those hypersonic missiles are going to do the finishing job. Then Yahawashi is going to come and put the cherry on the top. Okay, with those laser beams, time of trouble like never before. 13, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fall through the blasting of the hail in the fearful constellation. Okay, that fearful constellation, right? So again, that goes into the ground shall mourn. Okay, there's not going to be anyone to till the ground. Okay, these places are going to be all drought and destroyed. So skipping down to right here, this is what I really wanted. Yeah, right here. It says 14, woe, which means destruction unto the world that dwell therein. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight one against another, and their swords in their hands. Yeah, so people are going to, whatever their guns, whatever type of weapons, they're going to start fighting against, first of all, these IRS agents that come to their house, but also against people for the lack of food, the lack of bread. Or the lack of food, the lack of water. Right, 16, for there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. Of course, of their actions shall stand in their power. Yeah, so you have these low-level Edomites, okay, that realize that their white supremacy doesn't work no more, and they're going to start coming up against the government, right? Sedition means what? A revolt against the government. Why? Because of draconian measures, unrighteous decrees, okay? And they're going to be invading one another, going in people's houses, spoiling their goods. It says, a man shall desire to go in the city and shall not be able. Yeah, because these cities are going to be death zones. It's going to be a mix of the Purge and Jumanji. okay? Because you're going to have what? You're going to have these zombies walking around. You're going to have the 5G and the 6G technology. They're going to have the Morberg's juice, okay, which is people that took the hot sauce. They're going to be around. Those spirits created for vengeance. Then you're going to have what? These animals that got the hot sauce. They're going to be on the loose. And then you're going to have what? Newly created beasts, okay? It's going to be ugly. So if you don't have that, let me get a couple scriptures. My spirit keeps wanting to go to that standard to be lifted up, right? Isaiah 59:19. So shall the fear of the name of Yahweh from the west, and his glory in the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, and the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up that standard against him. Okay? Yeah, so that word standard, it goes into, when you go into the word, it goes into disappear. Okay, it goes into what to be able to take flight. The Lord's going to give what? His elect spiritual powers to be able to, first of all, to be able to eat, but also to be able to fight against these super soldiers. Okay? And we're praying that that standard is able to, we know the standard is going to be lifted up for the elect, but we're praying that we're of the hopeful elect. Okay? So there was another scripture I want to let's see. Oh, yeah. So going into what? The destruction of these devils, because they're creating all this. Okay, these rich men, they've created over 30 $30 trillion debt, and now they're starting to come down to these people's houses, and that's ultimately going to be a snap in a chair for these elites, because they think that they're going to be able to build back better again. They think they're going to great reset, but they're not. They're what? James 5:1. Go to now, you rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that come upon you. Yep. The miseries that come upon you. You're not going to be able to start your you have your new world order, right? It says too, your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. So again, that goes into the way that they got them, because gold doesn't rot away, but how they got them, through what? Rape, rob, and pillaging. Okay. It says 3, your gold and your silver is cankered, and the rust of them that be witness against you shall eat your flesh as it were fire. You have heaped treasure together for the last days. Okay. I want to read this in the NLT. It says your gold and silver have become worthless. Okay. Yep. So the riches are worthless. Why? Because now you don't even have a good name, or so-called with these different nations. Because what? The nations that were confederate with thee are what? Now they see you small among the nations. They know that all the things that you've done in the darkness, and now they're what? Coming to the light. Your gold and they don't want to deal with you, right? It says your gold and your silver have become worthless. The very wealth you were accounting on will eat away at your flesh like a fire. The treasure you have accumulated will stand as evident against you in the day of judgment. Yeah, so everything that you have, and that's starting with the children of Israel, okay, because you're found in their hand, and any man that's found in their hand shall be what? Put to death. Okay. It says 4, for listen, hear the cries of the field workers whom you have cheated on their pay. So again, these devil, the people of this world, they know that you cheated them out of their pay, because you're supposed to get paid every day. But now the IRS is saying they don't even have no money, and now they're starting to collect on money that's owed, because they're broke, right? For listen, hear the cries of the field workers whom you have cheated of their pay. The wages you held back cry out against you. The cries of those who harvest your fields have reached the ears of Yahweh Shemashai of the heavens of armies. Yep. So all this inflation, this hyperinflation, okay, all the world's going to see you who you actually truly are, which is what? The man of sin, the son of perdition. 5, you have spent your years on earth in luxury, satisfying every desire. You have fattened yourselves for the day of slaughter. Yep. So all their riches are going to be what? For the day of slaughter. Okay. All their riches, their schemes and their plots, how to be able to, with the Federal Reserve that they did in Jekyll Island, where they were able to deceive the nations, putting them through usury, putting them through acting like they're helping them, as far as their schemes and their scams and their plots. Okay, with the credit card system, right? And these are going to be accounted in these are going to be, let me read it again. These are going to be your evidence. This is going to be evidence of you being the wicked, okay? 2 Ezra 15:18, for because of their pride of the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Yeah, so everything's going to be destroyed from the inside out, okay? And that's going to be starting with these different people. They're going to start Egyptian against Egyptian. They're going to start to fight against, first of all, against their government, going back to sedition. 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy the houses of the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. That's right. Because again, you don't have food, you don't have water, You don't have, you don't trust in your government anymore. So those that don't have that hedge, okay, are going to get caught up in the said perils. Okay, they're going to get destroyed. 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Yeah, so they're going to have no pity when your family is hungry. You're not going to have pity on someone. Okay, you're not going to care what they think because you're hungry, right? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy the houses of their sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Yeah, great tribulation we shall enter into the kingdom. So with that, Kahala Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Ba'ashim Kakadash. Shalom to the elect. Kwame Yashala.